Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives? Oh, hi. I'm Olivia Willis. Welcome to my podcast that I'm starting for the first time and therefore don't really know how to do this yet. Um, this is a podcast called So Are the Days of Our Lives, where I am going to take a very good sport friend who is not currently watching the long-running acclaimed soap opera Days of Our Lives and has agreed to watch an episode and talk about it with me and talk about how absolutely crazy and ridiculous and funny and ultimately, hopefully, entertaining this show is. It's had a chokehold on my life for the last 4 years, and now I'm clearly trying to recruit others into my obsession so that I have people to talk to about it. Anyways, today I am so lucky to have my best friend as my first guest. Everyone, please welcome to your ears the one, the only, Meredith Louise Casey. Meredith, how are you this evening?
I am so good. Thank you for using all three of my professional names.
Thank you so much for chatting with me today.
Olivia Rose, there's nowhere I'd rather be.
Oh, what a delight. You've really been in the trenches with me on this.
I do remember the first time that this show was brought up in our friendship.
Oh my God.
And the shock I felt and the immediate dread, because if you know Olivia at all, you know once she's into something, she's all the way in.
It's accidentally going to take over my life.
We were doing a classic sit on the couch and do nothing girl date.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, Olivia, why is there an episode of Days of Our Lives on your continue watching tab?
Yep.
And that's when you confessed it to me.
Oh my gosh. I do want to talk about my Days of Our Lives origin story because, everybody comes to this magical place differently on different paths. But what's more important is that we got there. It's not how we got there, but it's that we got there. I, in 2020, was working for an audio description company. For those who don't know, audio description is an accessibility tool for people who are blind or hard of sight that narrates the visual information of a TV show or movie or video. So I was working for this company, and it's in the middle of the pandemic, and broadcast channels are legally required to have a certain number of hours of described content per quarter. And NBC had completely stopped production on all of their primetime dramas, which was the entire load of their described content. Someday I want to meet the junior executive that was like, why don't we just have them describe Days of Our Lives? And just shake their hand, kiss them on the cheek. But so they were just like, we're going to have you describe Days of Our Lives. And so began my journey. Famously, there are 5 new episodes a week. My entire work life revolved around this show. I was working on it every day. We didn't start with a back catalog. It was whatever they were working on right now. It was the next episode up in the lineup. And so I'm truly starting in the middle of a season, in the middle of storylines. As you see, these episodes pick up mid-scene, mid-sentence. They pick up in media res for those of us that went to theater school. So I'm like, what's happening? Who are these people? I had a lot of catch up to do, so I became very familiar with the Days of Our Lives wiki. Shout out to whoever maintains that. But yeah, and so then I would work on these episodes, and a couple of my coworkers and I got really into them and liked talking about them. And I was the one who was working on them most consistently. So I would write little recaps to send to my coworkers to be like, oh my gosh, this is what happened on Days of Our Lives this week.
Wait, I didn't know that.
Yeah. They weren't professional. They were truly just a Slack chat of and then this happened and then this happened. That was literally when I was like, oh my God, I should do a Days of Our Lives recap podcast. But yeah, so that's how I came to Days of Our Lives. It definitely then permeated my entire life, Maybe it's the Virgo in me, but I'm it's always a mountain to climb. Like there's so many episodes, it's so relentless. I'll
Yes.
never catch up.
And there is something about that that motivates you.
So that's my Days of Our Lives origin story. I would like to ask you, what, if any, relationship do you have to Days of Our Lives or soap operas in general?
Well, truly, soap operas were not anything that ever really existed in my family beyond being part of the TV you watched when you were sick at home.
Mm.
It was that, and then it was only special because it was like adults doing things that I wasn't allowed to like do or see yet.
Mm-hmm.
So
Ooh.
that's the only, do you know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
was like, oh, there's like kissing in this.
And like murder.
Yeah. And I just remember always like, I mean, it's filmed in such a specific way and it has such a specific aesthetic
Yep.
that you could just always be like, you could flip past it for like 2 seconds and knew it was a soap opera.
Yeah. Because all due respect, because that's the thing. I
'Cause we
never
do want due respect.
I will give due respect. I
Where respect
never
is due.
want it to seem like I am trashing on this show. I clearly am obsessed with this show and deeply invested in
No,
this
the
show.
love is real. The love is real.
The vibe is community theater. And that's no disrespect to community theaters either. But it is the aesthetic. It's truly just like,
Oh, I
and
mean,
I think it's just that you can see how two-dimensional some of the set pieces are.
oh, the seams on the sets are hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, those walls don't connect, babies.
And you can see like how they are reusing different rooms in different scenes. Like I love it. Like that's the thing. It feeds me. I say community theater because community theater is in my GD bones. Do you want to talk about the feelings you were having when I tried to get you to watch this show?
Yes, there was
3 years ago, probably.
Yes, Olivia introduced this show to me while we were sitting on the couch and asked me to watch an episode, and I emphatically said no in the moment.
Absolutely.
And I think probably a couple months later, we were in the car. I can picture like outside the window so clearly when you said it of you being like, I'm gonna make a podcast about Days of Our Lives. We were driving past a gas station. I can picture it. I can picture it so clearly. It was a sitco.
Oh my gosh, we have to find it. Okay, if and when, I'm saying when, positive manifestation, when this podcast blows up.
When you
and
are
I sign
car.
and I sign to big money players.
Not Dear Media?
No, I'm mostly just like, I'm going to stalk Bowen Yang and Matt Rogers.
I need you to know that like every time they release an episode, I listen to it all week because it's like my comfort.
That's so funny.
It's my comfort people. And you've been trying to get me to listen to them for 100 years.
I was, yeah. So I'm glad that you finally turned. Well, speaking of comfort material, Meredith, this is an excellent segue to the second question I wanted to ask you. What is your favorite guilty pleasure TV show? This is a question I bet I could answer, but I wanted to give you the autonomy to answer.
Wait, what's your answer?
For you?
Yeah.
One of the Bravos, something of Bravo, maybe Summer House, maybe Below Deck, but also I might amend my own question and ask it differently moving forward.
Okay.
Guilty pleasure implies I feel
pleasure.
bad about what I'm watching. And that's just simply not the case about anything.
Never.
Like even Days of Our Lives. So I'm going to say, what's your comfort TV show?
Yeah, I haven't felt
that's
guilty about media consumption in a while.
Never.
It is currently, I'm actually experiencing with symptoms of withdrawal because all of my housewives are finishing up. Yeah. So it's going to be a drought for a bit, but Summer House is starting.
There you go.
And Paige DeSorbo is my comfort reality show person.
Queen.
So as long as she is making an appearance, I think I'll make it through.
And that makes sense. And you and I have had this conversation dozens of times at this point, but I very much put Days of Our Lives in that, say, it scratches the same itch for me as your Housewives, as your dating shows, because it's like you're somehow on the edge of your seat and completely disengaged the entire time.
Also, I did hear recently from someone that soap operas, like reality TV, is cable's answer to soap operas.
That is 100% correct. And there's a reason so many of the most iconic housewives started out on soaps. Is this a dumb question to ask? before we start the recap, what was the most surprising thing to you about the episode you watched?
I don't know if it's just a surprising thing about the form.
Mm-hmm.
I truly was like, do any of these actors who are not in each other's scenes know each other?
Yeah, they'll do like combinations of people for every episode. So it's like you film for an entire episode with two other people and you only have scenes with those people. There's like very little crossover.
Right. And I literally was like, I bet they filmed you guys on Wednesday, the other one's on Thursday, and the next one's on Friday. And then they were like, got it.
Yeah. I guess I should have said at the top.
What episodes we're watching?
Yes, I have asked Meredith Louise Casey to watch season 59, episode 4, and season 59, episode 6, which might be like a part 2 intro episode situation, so that we can really dive into both of these incredible episodes of television.
These moments in time.
These days of our lives.
There it is. I missed it by a mile.
Speaking of drink, did you already say your beverage of choice?
My beverage of choice today is a Fisher's Island lemonade.
So amazing. My beverage of choice is Trader Joe's brand Shiraz,
which is actually very good.
Which is actually delicious, you know? I was thinking about this last night that like I think Days of Our Lives is best experienced one of two ways. Sitting on the couch with a comfort beverage, so to speak, of your choice, or actively cleaning your house. Like I want to be in the bathroom, elbow deep, cleaning my tub. I hear it on the TV in the other room and I run and I'm like, wait, I gotta see this.
Who has a gun now?
Exactly. So listeners, I hope you're enjoying a comfort beverage as well, unless you're driving. And in that case, I hope your comfort beverage is coffee, water, drink some water for God's sake.
Drink some water for God's sake.
Okay. Should we dive into the recap, as they say?
Yes, listeners, I have 4 pages of notes.
I'm so excited. Let's dive into the recap.
Okay.
This is Days of Our Lives, season 59, episode 4. Yeah, this show premiered in what, 1965? Just let's sit with that for a moment. So yes, this is episode 4 of season 59. There's never a good like, this is the beginning. Like we wrapped everything up at the end of the last season and we're starting a new season. I was like, oh, I'll start with episode 1 of season 59. But then it was truly just like in the middle of a bunch of plot lines. And I was like, well, this isn't helpful. So I'm starting with episode 4.
Do they ever stop filming? Like when is it? Because I was looking through the episodes on Peacock.
No idea.
They truly have like up to 230 episodes a season.
Yes.
So when are they like, that's enough?
I know that. I had no idea. It's not like every season has 250 episodes either. Like I can't maybe doing this podcast, I will figure out the pattern, but I don't know. There's no rhyme or reason.
Okay. All right. I'm in.
Yes. This episode aired August 31st, 2023. The episodes sort of iconically do not have titles. They are only titled by the date on which they aired. So I have thought to give us a little challenge that after the recap, we will brainstorm a title for the episode. If we were the writers of Days of Our Lives,
a dream job,
what would we title these episodes? So we start this episode iconically in the middle of a conversation, in the middle of a really difficult conflict. We're at the Brady Pub, which is a staple of the town of Salem. Salem is the town that this takes place in. It is famously a sort of sleepy suburb of Chicago.
It is not Massachusetts.
It is not Salem, Massachusetts at all, except a lot of witchy things do happen. We're at the Brady Pub. We meet Belle Brady, who she's sort of like a legacy character. Like her parents are long-running, super famous characters. So she's like queen of the castle a little bit. Belle is in the middle of a phone call talking about her husband, Sean, who's recently put on a 24-hour psych hold because of depression.
Also, that doesn't exist. They're always 72. They aren't 24.
Okay, Emily found a plot hole. Drink. Just kidding. If we do that, we will die. We will pass away. Yeah, Sean, her husband, has been going through a lot and he's like struggling with drinking, but he keeps being like, I'm not an alcoholic, I'm just depressed, and the alcohol helps me with my depression.
And this is before this episode started that this is happening.
Correct. This was in the last episode.
Got it.
They agreed to do this 24-hour cycle because he is acting police commissioner of the city of Salem, and he had his work weapon and was like staring at it with a bad look. So you knew that meant he was thinking about doing something bad with it. So then he like turned himself into his mother-in-law, who is the town psychiatrist, and she checked him in for that 24-hour.
Yeah, that's all you need.
That's all you need. That's all you need. Belle's on the phone and she's like, listen, not all of his problems are going to be solved with this 24-hour hold, but I hope he's feeling better. Like, that's literally the entire first line. Then in walks Brady, who is her half brother.
I have a note. He throws a peace sign.
I literally, in my note, I wrote, who throws up a rad peace sign as a greeting.
I let out a full guffaw.
It's so out of the world of this show.
Listeners, it is a full wrist flip.
Yeah, and he's an adult man. He's like a 52-year-old man in a leather jacket. And also she's on the phone talking about like her drunk husband who almost did bodily harm to himself last night and had to be checked in for a psych hold. And he's like, what up, my dog? Like,
it's so strange.
The structure of a soap opera and Days of Our Lives in particular, it's so stilted, not stilted, but like heightened. The language is dense. You can so tell what is heavily scripted. And then every once in a while, one of the actors will like do something that's way too casual. I love that you picked up on that.
I truly was like, I am in for it if this is in the first 30 seconds.
Exactly. Buckle in. Brady comes in. They're half siblings. They have the same dad, but a different mom, which honestly, I should probably stop tracking that for people because everyone is half siblings with everyone. Like, it's a cesspool of potential incest in this town.
The vibes I was getting was exes.
Oh, no, they are half siblings.
Okay, that's helpful.
So Belle is a lawyer, and Brady thought she had called him to meet because she was reopening his custody suit because he's in a bitter custody dispute with his ex.
Which he says out loud. He goes, well, you know about my bitter custody suit with my ex. And she goes, yeah, absolutely. But we can't really handle that right now. My husband is on a 24-hour hold.
And I'm actually here to talk to you about something completely unrelated to either of those two life-changing things.
Yeah, there's a reiteration of the stakes immediately.
Yes. There's constant exposition in every single one of these scenes.
Everyone's going to repeat exactly what you need to know.
Anytime you're confused, I say just hang on for like 45 more seconds because I bet someone will explain in explicit detail everything you have a question about. They'll be like, this person, and I'll pause and be like, I should research. And then if I just let it play for 30 more seconds, they're like, you mean that person who did that thing at that time that had this outcome?
Even though they should know, but they're just double checking with
they're making sure we know.
We got it for them. Thank you.
So yes, Brady comes in and gives a slight precursor of his bitter custody battle. But Belle says, no, it's about Phillip. And Brady is pissed to find out that Belle has taken on this guy Phillip as a client after he recently revealed that he faked his own death. So here's what happened. It had to have been at least a year ago. So Brady was like kind of in a love triangle with this woman, Chloe, who we're about to meet in this episode. Phillip and Chloe were together, and Phillip was convinced that Brady was trying to like win Chloe over from him. And so Phillip faked his own death and framed Brady. So he's been gone for a year.
Sensible reaction.
Brady like went to jail for a period of time, but then eventually like the charges were dropped. Phillip has now like, for all intents and purposes, come back from the dead. And Brady's pissed because he's like, I went to jail because you framed me for murder. And Belle is like, Phillip is my client. So this is a betrayal. What we're witnessing right now is a betrayal.
I thought Phillip was her brother.
No, no.
Oh, I
They're
see.
now
I see.
friends, but they did like used to date.
Well, I'm assuming everyone has dated.
Yes, correct.
That's
That's
a
a fair
baseline. Yeah,
assumption.
yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you. Thank you for meeting me there. So, speaking of Chloe, the
Mm-hmm.
next scene, we cut to Chloe in her apartment, staring off with a deep, icy, blank stare. And she's slowly sipping coffee. So, you know, we're about to get a flashback.
Is this what we need for a flashback? Coffee and a blank stare?
I think a blank stare and some sort of idle task. You
That's
know?
how I feel when I go into my memory palace. So yes. Well, can I just comment for a moment? This
Yes.
is the most purple dress I have ever seen.
That is so true. And she has robin's egg blue nails that drove
Yes.
me insane.
It is the most purple dress I've ever seen in my life. And then the nails. And then the way that her eyeliner is so perfect, I'm scared of it.
Yes, she's so beautiful in a soap opera way.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for pointing that out. Yes. So
Yeah.
Chloe is staring off into the abyss. So we get a flashback. So this is a flashback actually to like the last episode. So this was very recently. This was like
Got it.
in the context of the show the day before. She opens her door, discovering Philip at her door.
Mm-hmm.
And she thought he was dead for like at least a year. They were dating at the time he died. So she like mourned him and then like got
Mm.
over him and now is engaged to somebody else.
She does say his name the moment she opens the door.
Philip?
I laughed out loud because I was like, because I don't know who anyone is, I've been like
It's
really
so
trying to
helpful.
pick up on names.
It's so helpful.
I now know everybody's name. I've been watching this show for 90 seconds at
That's
this
exactly
point,
right.
and every single person has been introduced to me. And she opened that door and she went, Philip. Thank God. I knew right away.
So he comes in. She's like trying to wrap her head around it. She's so funny in this scene. She's just like, but you died. But what happened? And then she goes, are you hurt? What about your leg?
Oh my God. Wait, my note says, Philip, plastic leg, question mark.
I think what's clearly happening, and for anyone who's listening who wants to go back and watch this episode, first of all, I love you. Second of all, this happens at 1:52. We are less than 2 minutes into this episode. She's like, what happened to your leg? And he leans over and knocks. And it's like knocking on a door. I think he leaned over and knocked on the coffee table. Like that.
I thought this man lost his leg.
No, but that's the thing. I'm saying I think that was the trick because Philip Kyriakis is in fact supposed to have a prosthetic leg. Part of the faking of his own death was that they found his leg in the river.
This man cut his own leg off?
No, he already had a prosthetic leg.
Oh, they found his prosthetic leg in the river. I'm like, are we in 127 hours? Jesus Christ, Salem.
But when I was watching this a year ago and it was like, oh my God, Philip's dead. We found Philip's prosthetic leg in the river. And I was like, Philip had a prosthetic leg? Like, what? Like, I don't know how it happened. Yeah, it's just in this moment. Knock, knock. Like, that's what it sounded like.
Truly. And then the words that he says, I wrote them down. He goes, physically, fine. Then I was like, wait a second. So emotionally,
your leg is messed up.
Like, what?
That's so funny. Like, so with my expertise as a 4-year watcher, as a junior veteran watcher, he has a prosthetic leg. So that's just, we can file that away about Philip Kyriakis.
But so you're saying that your theory about the trickery of the camera,
the reason there's such a hollow effing sound,
hollowest sound I've ever heard.
It was so loud. It did sound so plasticky. And once again, that's what I mean about production value. They just like do stuff like that. And I'm like, iconic. So the flashback then flashes ever so slightly forward to that night, Brady leaving Chloe's in a huff after she begs him not to have Philip arrested. Because Brady's like, you're not dead. You framed me for murder. I'm pressing charges.
Yeah, I mean,
Chloe's like, please don't. And Brady leaves. So then Philip admits He'll need a lawyer when it all comes out, and Chloe insists on him hiring Belle, even though she's Brady's lawyer and his sister. Chloe finally gets pulled out of her exposition flashback.
Which was all just in sepia tone.
That's correct. That is what they do. It's like dark sepia tone, sort of fuzzy edges.
The vignette filter on
Exactly,
Instagram.
on Instagram.
Yeah.
So Xander, her fiance, is there, and he's Scottish, which I watched this show for maybe over a year before realizing that's what his accent was.
Wait a second. Okay, my note at the end of this is Irish ?
Yeah.
Because I was like, that's a British man.
I'm embarrassed to say I did think it was like Australian for a long time too.
It is that actor Scottish?
Yes. So I think it's probably like he's Scottish and he's been living in LA for most of his adult life.
It does go to some crazy places.
Yeah, it's not all there. So they're engaged. They're, we don't need to get into all of it right now, but Xander's sort of infamously a villain. So it's sort of like a crazy thing that the two of them are now together and engaged.
They do seem very happy.
They do seem very
in their little moments.
In their bubble. I wrote, she's there with Xander, her Scottish fiance, who was allegedly on the couch with her the whole time. Like,
I didn't even think about that.
He's like, Chloe, what are you looking at? Exactly. Yes. So she's trying to hurry him out the door.
Do they work in the same place?
Yes. They both work for the local newspaper.
Got it. So she's like, time to go to work.
And yes. And he's like, come with me. And she's like, nah.
But the timeline of it is, oh yeah, we're late.
Right.
And then she goes, oh, actually, never mind. I have things to finish.
It's not 100% plotted out well for her secret keeping. Okay, so Chloe's trying to hurry Xander out the door.
Yes.
And then a crash comes from the other room. Surprise. They're not alone. There's someone in this apartment with them. So now we have Gabby. This, I think, was the one character whose name you didn't catch this episode.
I went ballet flat girl, question mark, because this girl is dressed like if Blair Waldorf, but she was 35.
Exactly. Yes, like she's dressed for homecoming, but it's just like a day where she's at her house. So now we have Gabby and her husband, Stefan. They are in their room at the DiMera Mansion, which is this home where a lot of the members of the DiMera family live. The DiMeras are like a big, powerful family in Salem. A lot of villains.
Mansion is bananas.
Yeah, it's truly palatial.
The darkest wood you've ever seen.
Yes. So they are about to give us another hearty helping of exposition. They are currently snooping around in the affairs of a newly established family member, Dimitri, who swooped into town and immediately married this lady, Gwen, who's kind of a villain, like disaster woman in town. Like she's just like bad news. So they recently got married. Gabby and Stefan want to take down Dimitri to gain like power and control of the family business. So they have done their digging and they found out that Dimitri married Gwen to gain access to his inheritance. And he's currently having an affair, but they need to find out with whom.
Yes. And then there's the name of somebody named Kristen is being thrown around.
Kristen is another DiMera sibling. So Kristen DiMera, we are literally about to meet in this episode. She's the blonde one who's like very squinty.
Yes.
And has like a raspy low voice.
Honestly, the squint is all I needed.
There you go. Kristen is like working with Dimitri and it's always like a power play with the DiMeras. So Gabby and Stefan are trying to steal power from the two of them.
So what we've learned from Gabby and Stefan is that Dimitri just married Gwen to get at his inheritance.
To collect his inheritance.
Got it.
Because Dimitri has iconically a codicil that he's dealing with.
I mean, according to Google, it is an addition or supplement that explains, modifies, or revokes a will or part of a will. So it is correct.
It is correct. And I think it's just like a 10-point word that one of the writers found and was like, oh my God, this is exactly what I need.
The codicil.
So Dimitri's codicil stipulates that if he doesn't get married to a woman by 40, he loses his inheritance, which is like hundreds of millions of dollars.
That is insane.
Truly. So Gabby and Stefan are talking and they're like trying to figure out why Dimitri would involve Gwen. Like, if he's having an affair, why would
Right.
he just marry this mistress to gain his inheritance? It doesn't
Oh,
say she has to be like a certain kind of woman.
oh, I see. I see.
But dun dun dun, luckily we the audience know that Dimitri is having an affair with Gwen's gay best friend Leo Stark.
I have notes up the
Twist!
wazoo about this.
So yes, his inheritance specifies that he must be married to a woman by the time he turns 40 or else he loses all the money. There's a lawyer who's representing this like estate of his family who
Yeah.
tracked Dimitri down and needs to meet with Dimitri and Gwen to confirm the legitimacy of their marriage before he can write the check for the inheritance. So now Dimitri is with Leo
In a random hotel
in
room.
the hotel. That's the other thing. The Salem Inn is a go-to set piece for Days of Our Lives. Someone is always in the hotel. Dimitri's at the Salem Inn with Leo because I think Leo lives at the Salem Inn.
Well, if he does, by the way, all of these rooms are pristine. None
Oh,
of
of
them
course.
have any personal
There's no
touches
suitcase. There's
of
no
any
mess.
kind.
Absolutely not. So Dimitri's at the Salem Inn with Leo, and they're trying to figure out how they can get around having Gwen meet with the lawyer because she has no idea about the inheritance situation. She thinks that like they just met and fell in love and it was serendipity and he proposed after knowing her for like a week and now they're married.
Oh, she
Yes.
doesn't know.
She doesn't know at all. So
Okay, that clears up a lot for me.
that's why Dimitri's like, I have to meet with the lawyer, but I can't bring Gwen because Gwen doesn't know. But the lawyer's insisting that he meet Gwen. So Leo has the brilliant idea that he will dress up as Gwen to meet with the lawyer because no one knows Gwen better than her bestie.
And he used to date a drag queen.
Yes. Because Jackie Cox is a real drag queen from RuPaul's
Oh.
Drag Race.
Who's
So
been on the show?
yes, Jackie Cox had an iconic cameo like a couple years ago when they did this like Beyond Salem special.
Wait, that's awesome.
Yes. So what was
It goes like this. Well, I used to date the queen of the city. And then Dimitri says, how could I forget Darius Rose? And then Leo says, oh, you mean Jackie Cox? Well, it's amazing that like they are like, well, because this is how drag works.
but also it's
I-
like I know drag, therefore someone who doesn't know Gwen would believe I am Gwen.
And there is also a line that he goes, you don't think I can make it work? Which was homophobic, honestly.
Since podcasts are famously not a visual medium, Meredith did just do a sassy snap. There are a lot of things in Days of Our Lives where it's like, you guys are being progressive, but in a way that's like,
Like, I'm offended.
so yeah.
There is also like Dimitri says, why would you do that for me?
Uh-huh.
And Leo goes, it was something like, I just want that check, but then I also want you to do what you did to me in Reykjavik again.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And I was like, the note is in all caps, underlined 4 times.
Yeah.
Gays in Iceland?
Yes. So Dimitri and Gwen honeymooned in Iceland.
As you do.
And because Dimitri and Leo are so horned up for each other,
Mm-hmm.
he flew Leo out to Iceland so they could bone while he was on his honeymoon with Leo's best friend.
Did Gwen know?
No. Well, Gwen found out that Leo was there, but doesn't know that they are, for lack of a better word, boning. Yes. So, and their whole thing is that they're deeply horny for each other. So
Yes.
it's like, do the Reykjavik special. And I'm like, ugh. He calls him magic penis a lot in a way that makes me want to die. Yeah.
That was not on this episode.
No,
Otherwise, I
it
would
was
have
not.
called you and backed out of this podcast.
It is that thing where sometimes they'll say stuff and I'm like, ew, like moms watch this. Like, stop.
Magic
And
penis.
like moms can get it, but like,
It's not even like magic dick.
well, now it's on Peacock, so I think maybe they could get away with more. But like, this used to be airing at 2 p.m. on NBC.
Beautiful vagina.
Yeah, it's like icky.
It's so gross.
So yeah, Dimitri and Leo have dickmatized each other and come up with this plan. I think it's foolproof. That's all the cold open before the main title. Everything we've covered.
And then,
like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives. Incredible. It's just beautiful orchestral sweeping music.
truly, and it's been around since 1965.
Come on. And they knew how to do
on.
sweeping orchestral themes. Okay. So now we're back. We are back at the DiMera mansion, and Gwen, famously Dimitri's sham wife. So she's also British, by the way.
Yes. Oh, did I hear immediately?
So Gwen is with Kristen DiMera. She is the only person in the family who knows all about Dimitri's situation. She knows about the affair with Leo.
Okay.
She's using it as like a power ploy over him.
She looks like so smug.
Yeah, she's very evil. So Gwen is fishing for information from Kristen because she knows that like something's up with Dimitri. She doesn't get it. In the last episode, Gwen had like smashed a glass or something. And Kristen had asked if it had something to do with Dimitri. And so Gwen's like, what do you mean? Why ever would I have a problem with my lovely new husband? So the underscoring in this scene is so loud and spooky that it really makes it seem like Kristen is going to tell Gwen about the affair with Leo.
I thought she was going to kill her. I was like, this girl about to be murdered.
It's so sinister.
Well, also, like they open the scene with, I saw the broken glass and I just made an assumption.
Exactly.
And I was like, okay, so she's going to take whatever broken glass and plunge it through this woman's heart.
Absolutely. Which she is wont to do, Kristen DiMera. Gwen better look out. But they just land on some banter about like shoring up votes for the DiMera board meeting. And Kristen lies about her and Dimitri secretly trying to team up with Chad, who's another DiMera. Gwen sort of iconically like ruined his marriage and then like drove his wife to her death.
Like drove her there, like in her car.
Potentially shoved her down a staircase. Oh, wait, no, that's not how she died. She fell down the stairs, but she recovered. And then she died in like a botched home robbery.
That Gwen perpetrated?
No. So
Okay.
technically Gwen didn't drive her to her death, but like Gwen was causing her a lot of problems.
I, in this scene, felt quite a lot of sympathy for Gwen. But there's been a few times that you've alluded already that this is a villainous woman.
Well, I think that frankly, people contain multitudes.
Yeah.
And two things can be true.
I don't know if that's true in Salem.
I think it's very true in Salem.
Okay, you're right. I should be more open.
People are reformed serial killers and now all of a sudden we love them. Like people commit heinous crimes and then come around and are beloved.
It is a testament to second chances.
It is.
I felt like she was getting grilled by this woman who had the worst little smug look on her face.
Yep.
And I also think Gwen DiMera.
Rizchek is technically her name.
We
Sorry.
love to make them the most complicated last names ever. Gwen is stunning to me.
She's very beautiful.
And I think I was just like, why is this blonde squinty lady yelling at the pretty lady?
Leave that pretty woman alone.
Leave that pretty brunette woman alone.
My takeaway from this scene was that these two women seem to be having a contest of who can touch their face and or neck the most.
I wrote that down. I wrote the words women touching the back of their necks.
They're both like coming up with stories. So they're like touching their neck and their hair.
This is how I lie.
I just think that the DiMera votes will come through. And Gwen's like, oh, I'm simply knackered. I've got to get upstairs. And they're just dabbing.
All I've ever wanted was a nibble and a nap.
She leaves with an incredible exit line. The jet lag has just set in. All I want now is a nibble and a nap. Yeah, so Gwen leaves. She just gives up trying to get info from Kristen and hopefully finds her nibble and a nap. But unfortunately, we know she won't.
This scene did an excellent job of ending on the longest breath that has ever been taken.
The tails on the ends of these scenes are
It's
so
so I'm
long.
like, did this editor like just like forget to go back?
No, I think that's just the vibe. That's the energy
Style.
they like. So, as we mentioned, Leo assures Dimitri he could seamlessly pass for Gwen because he's a drag expert due to his previous relationship with Jackie Cox.
My note is, what the fuck is happening with these gays?
Contender for title of Ep. So, oh yeah, in this scene, we get a mini callback to Dimitri's first appearance, which was also on that Beyond Salem special. Which it was just like a nugget of exposition where Leo goes, this coming from a man who tried to impersonate an ISA agent in his quest to take over the world.
What, it was his lame quest to take over the world.
Dragged.
I literally was like, what?
Do you even respect this man you're boning?
But I was also just like, that is such a super villain thing.
I know. Yeah.
Like, and then it was so said so casually, like, oh, your lame quest to take over the world.
Okay, so meanwhile, back at the pub, Brady is furious with Belle about siding with Phillip. He's accusing her of making Sean ignore him because last night Brady left a note on Sean's desk after he found out about Phillip, telling Sean to call him because that is the most efficient way to get in touch with someone in the year 2023, to be fair at the time, but I don't think communication has come that far.
I did not even put those pieces together.
He literally, in the last episode, like bursts into the police station, leaves a note on Sean's desk and leaves. And then he's like, haven't heard from Sean, probably because you're telling him to ignore me. And it's like, you have a phone too, text him. So then Belle reveals that, by the way, Sean is no longer police commissioner because the new acting mayor, who is...
Why is everybody acting, by the way? Everyone's like acting.
Things are always
police
in
commissioner,
flux.
Acting mayor.
True. I didn't think about that. Everything is in the interim. The current acting mayor is Jackie Harry for all Sister Sister and other myriad of incredible television ventures fans. She is an amazing actor and will come back in future episodes. So the new acting mayor, aka Jackie Harry, reinstated the old commissioner, Rafe. And then she's like, he didn't answer your call because he's in the hospital on a psych hold.
Yeah. My 24 hours cycle.
And then she references how what's been going on with Sean recently. He accidentally shot Beau, who is his father, who was dead for many years and was recently brought back from the dead, but is now, just as soon as he was brought back from the dead, he's now in a coma because Sean shot him on accident.
This poor guy.
So wrap your brain around that.
Going through it.
Sean also blames himself for his grandfather Victor's recent death in a plane crash.
Was he flying the plane?
No, but he was the reason. Victor was going to visit Beau, who was in the coma, and then Victor's plane went down. So Sean's like, if I hadn't shot Beau, Victor wouldn't have been flying to Greece, and then his plane wouldn't have gone down.
Okay, all right.
Victor Kiriakis, who is iconically Jennifer Aniston's father, the late John Aniston, who passed away last year.
Is that why he was written out of the show?
That is why he was written out of the show. And I was like, why couldn't he? Was so old. Like, why did they make him die in a plane crash mysteriously?
Would you prefer him to have like a send-off?
I mean, I think he just could have died of natural causes. But then I was thinking, that's iconic.
It is sort of like the best soap opera.
He's like, I'm an old man. I've been on this soap opera my entire career. I don't want to just like
die.
My character to die of old age. Like, make my plane go down over the Mediterranean.
Yeah. On my way to Greece.
Exactly. On my way to Greece, and send the Coast Guard to search for my body. So Belle is going on about all this stuff that's been weighing on Sean, which is the reason why he's struggling so much. Brady is trying to get tender, and he's like, is there anything I can do for you? And Belle only asks that he not press charges against Phillip. And then the two of them have an iconic nonverbal beat in extreme close-up where he looks shocked at what she asked him. She gives him a pleading look. He shakes his head with disgust. Like, those were my favorite moments to describe when I was doing audio description, because a lot of times people are just staring off with a blank look. And like, there's only so many ways you can describe that. But these two were giving rich nonverbal acting.
And that's on technique.
And that's technique, baby. Okay, so speaking of Phillip, Chloe's at home trying to convince Xander the noise from the bedroom was nothing, blah, blah, blah. But Xander freaks out because he assumes it was Brady hiding in their apartment. Because once again, everyone's convinced Chloe is like fucking someone behind their back. And I'm just like,
leave this woman alone. This purple woman.
so Chloe's annoyed and she's like, well, you might as well come out now. And Phillip reveals himself all sheepish, and Xander furrows his brows so deeply because he's confused.
Also, I will say, well, you might as well come out now. One of my favorite line readings of all time.
That might be a good title of Ebb.
You might as well come out
now. Oh my God. Okay. So we're back at the DeMera mansion. Kristen DeMera's on the phone. She's filling in Dimitri about the cover story she concocted. That's the thing too. If you like walk away from your TV for a couple minutes and you come back in like 10 minutes later, they're not only recapping what's happened in the 60 years this show has been on the air, they're also recapping what has happened in the current episode.
It is so helpful. It helped me many a time.
There's a lot of on-ramps that you can join. So Kristen reminds Dimitri that he was about to tell Gwen about the damn codicil. I put damn codicil in quotes. The damn codicil, also a contender for title of ep.
Yeah.
So she's like, you were going to come clean. What's changed? Side note, did you notice that both of them are holding their phones in an absolutely crazy way?
I didn't put that down.
Oh,
how are they holding
my
their phones?
God. Kristen's holding her phone like full claw. Like it's like she's never held a phone before. And then Dimitri has his elbow all the way out, like maybe to communicate that he's in distress. Like it's so angular.
That looks like I'm trying to show my bicep off.
Yeah, maybe it's that. Maybe it's that. But it struck me watching it. I was like, why does it look like neither of you have ever spoken on an iPhone before? So that was a slight tangent. Dimitri assures Kristen that he has a plan, and she dramatically hangs up because soap opera. Dimitri hollers into the bathroom, what is taking so bloody long? He's not British. Leo calls out that great beauty doesn't happen all by itself. And Dimitri's voice goes full Voldemort, and he goes, I'm doomed. Like, that's how he said it.
It was like, do you need some water, sir?
I'm doomed.
Is it okay? Are you okay?
His throat's so dry with fear. Okay, so we're back with Xander and Chloe and Phillip. Xander gives actually a pretty helpfully detailed summary of what Phillip actually did. So he's like, so what? You faked everything? You knocked Brady out, dragged him to the riverbank, shot him full of alcohol, and then what? Left a trail of your own blood to the river?
Thank you so much, Xander.
Phillip goes, yep, that's pretty much it. Like,
thanks for that.
It's also like played for comedy, which is so good.
I know. It's like they have a live studio audience.
It's amazing. Like, I want a laugh track, but it's just me alone, which is why I'm making this podcast, because I need other people watching. So yeah, that is what happened. Xander is mostly upset with Chloe that she kept Phillip in their apartment overnight without telling him, which I think is fair.
That's so fair.
And he's like, how long were you going to keep lying? And she just like gives him a very shifty look.
And the zoom in is...
It's nefarious. She assures Xander she was keeping the secret from him for his own good. She didn't want him to have to cover for Phillip. And even though that's a ridiculous excuse, the underscoring tells us everything is okay, and Xander forgives her.
Yes, I will say that like we can do like 20% less dialogue and just listen to whatever music they put underneath.
That's true. If people could face act as well as Belle and Brady do, it could be a silent film.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we're back at the Salem Inn. This is allegedly a different room. But again, that's why...
It looks exactly the same.
That's why none of the rooms have distinguishing features, is because, like, it's the same set.
Yeah.
But now it's a different person's room.
They have added a table to this room, but everything else down to the pillows, exactly the same.
And that's the beauty of a hotel.
And honestly, set dresser, I'm sure they've won many Emmys, but they deserve another one for ingenuity.
I hope so. Ingenuity in set dressing. Okay, so we are in the hotel room of what I would describe as the Kirkland brand Martin Sheen. His name is Elliot Roth. He's the lawyer who's overseeing the von Leuschner estate. That is Dimitri's last name. That's Dimitri's family.
The name of the person we need to shout out, his name is Tom Early.
Oh my God, the set dresser of Days of Our Lives?
Not production designer. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom. So Elliot Roth is the lawyer who's overseeing the von Leuschner estate. He's on a tenderhearted phone call with his presumed spouse. Like, I love that too. He's like, honey, I know.
He goes, I miss you too.
Incredible. I'm invested in this random person who we'll never see again.
Because for a moment I was like, is this another character? But
It
then
is
I
not.
sort of was like, that was just an amazingly ad-libbed phone call by that
Exactly.
actor.
So now Dimitri comes to the door and he's like, but where's Gwen? And then he's like, here she is. And there's Leo in a wig and a peasant top pulling off an absolutely horrible English
Horrendous.
accent. Like, not even passable.
And also not a good face of natural makeup.
No, that's the thing. He looks like he's wearing no makeup. And also, my question was, where did he get the wig? Like, he mentioned, he was like, Gwen left a bunch of her stuff here. She didn't leave a wig's worth of her own hair. Like, what?
Like, it isn't a bad wig.
So
It doesn't look amazing on him.
No. And it doesn't look like Gwen, more importantly.
It is the wrong color.
Yes.
Just
So,
completely
like,
wrong.
Maybe we're meant to believe he just had this wig because, you know, he has the background where he dated Darius Rose, aka Jackie Cox.
The queen of the city.
So, like, that was just a wig from his own collection, and maybe the peasant top was Gwen's, because, like, believably, that is something that that character would wear. I wonder if they didn't go full makeup because they, like, wanted to avoid some, like, offensive trans narrative.
I actually was thinking, because when this conceit was introduced, I was like, we're headed to a scary place.
That is the thing, because it's like, we're talking about bamboozling this lawyer
right
by being in drag, but then ultimately it's not a drag look.
Correct.
Yeah. So it's like, are we implying that Gwen could be a trans woman?
Yes.
Who Dimitri has married?
I'm just like, is it better that they went au natural?
Yeah, I would argue none of it's good.
None of it's great. 0%.
Luckily, we're going to take a break from them, at least just for a moment, because I need to process
sorely
them.
needed.
We're going to cut back to Gabby and Stefan at the DeMira Mansion. Gabby, aka Ballet Flats. Gabby has decided that they need to snoop around Dimitri and Gwen's room to try to find out who he's cheating with. So Gabby goes into the room. Stefan's keeping watch in the hall. Dun, dun, dun. Gwen comes up. He does an incredible job trying to distract her with like an art lesson. He's like,
at a painting none of us can see.
yes. She's like, why are you standing in front of my door? And he's like, I'm just admiring this painting.
The color's so subtle.
And then she's like, cool, don't really care. And then she like goes for the door again and he's just like, you can't go in there. Like, he immediately folds.
Like, honestly, I was like, I thought of 5 different things you could have said.
Absolutely.
While you were talking about this painting.
Even just being like, I was waiting for you here so that I can take you somewhere else.
Or like, hey, so sorry, someone's cleaning your room. You can go lie down in my room.
That's what he lands on after he very awkwardly is like, don't you dare go in there.
Yes, I can't let you go in there.
So then he's like, Harold, who's their alleged butler. Harold is a character that they refer to a lot, but we never see.
Well, that's a job lost.
And in this economy, so he's like, Harold's in there unpacking for you. Like, just give him a few minutes. He'll clear out. And of course, like, Gabby hears him yelling and like perks up and like starts to panic. And then Gwen just starts blurting out how annoyed she is that Leo showed up on her honeymoon. And she's just like, I just need some rest.
Out of she just starts talking about
Correct.
The Iceland situation.
And she bursts into the bedroom to find Gabby with a rose in her mouth.
Making like a heart with rose petals.
Spreading rose petals on the bed. And she's like, I heard that your honeymoon got cut short and I just wanted to do something romantic for you guys. And Gwen's like, I know what you're doing.
No, that was too cockney.
Sorry. So Gwen accuses them of snooping to get dirt before the Demera board meeting. And Stefan's like, yeah. It was that. Sorry, you caught us. Let's go. And
She
then
knows,
they leave.
babe. Which, by the way, up until this point, I thought Ballet Flat Girl, also known as Gabby,
Uh-huh.
and Stefan were siblings.
Oh, yeah, no, they're married.
Did not until he said called her babe. I was like, oh, okay, not siblings.
Yeah. So hopefully now Gwen gets her nibble and a nap, you know? So meanwhile, Leo's laying it on really thick for the lawyer. As I mentioned before, Dimitri and Leo's whole thing is that they're deeply horny for each other.
They're being very sexual
So like
in front of this lawyer.
So the lawyer like mentions that some people think it's a marriage of convenience just to get the inheritance money. And Leo's like, the only thing convenient about our marriage is that I have this delicious man available to me 24 hours a day and night. Like that. How
It's like
bad
he
that-
like moves around in his chair like he has a boner. Like,
Yeah.
this is the weirdest thing.
And it's like, if you were actually married, like that's not an appropriate way to talk to a lawyer. And like Roth is just like acting like this is normal. And like the only thing he's concerned about is like the timing of the wedding right before
Yes.
Dimitri was about to lose the money. Okay, so we're back at the Brady Pub. This is actually confusing. And I'm glad that we kind of stumbled into this minefield where Belle and Brady are half siblings. They
Right.
are at a restaurant called the Brady Pub.
Right.
Belle's name is Belle Brady. Brady's name is Brady Black. Brady is named, his first name is for the Brady family.
So like Casey.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. But it's like, imagine if your cousin Casey and you were always hanging out at the Casey pub. So it's like Meredith Casey and Casey. Should I bleep that? She doesn't want to be on my podcast.
He doesn't care.
And you're always hanging out at Casey's. Like it's just too
That's a lot.
it's too much. Okay, so Belle's assuring Brady that Phillip was mentally ill when he faked his own death and he knows what he did was wrong. And
Uh-huh.
then she pulls the dead grandfather card and
Mm.
reminds Brady that Victor would have wanted all of them to band together behind Phillip. And as he's considering who should walk in to the Brady Pub but Kristen Demera, who is one of Brady's exes. They were in a long relationship and they have a kid together who is the focus of said contentious custody battle. They have a hilarious back and forth about how Kristen's there to get fish sticks for their daughter because she's crazy about them. Brady gives a very snarky explanation that they don't serve the fish sticks anymore. But if she goes to the fish market on Allentown to buy them, Rachel won't know the difference. Like that's
It's so specific.
and this has never been talked about before. Just to assure you, Brady's daughter's thing is not I love fish sticks. Like we've never talked about this before.
Well, it's obviously used this device to be like Brady knows his daughter better than Kristen does.
Right.
But I was also like, she's not like a bad mom because she like doesn't give her kid fish sticks.
Because she hasn't had custody of her child and didn't know that the fish sticks are off the menu. We have that whole exchange.
It is truly, and they both look so smug while doing it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
do you know what's coming out of your face?
And Belle is sitting there like super normal. If it was me, my jaw would be dropped. I would just be like, ooh, not the fish market on Allentown. That's so funny. So then Brady gives Kristen a snarky, don't get too used to having custody.
It went that custody that judge gave you. Don't get used to having that.
Well, and those are the moments where I feel like I'm watching an actor refine the line.
Yeah, the plane is shaking. Two of the engines are out. We're on one. It is a belly slide to the finish here.
That custody that judge awarded to you in court. Yeah, don't get too used to it. Like he kind of cops out at the end.
Yeah, he's like, I can't fit.
Never mind. Just crash the plane. Oh my God. So yes. So Kristen is like an actual villain from the show. Like she has killed people. Like she
Also, all her underscoring is bananas.
absolutely diabolical. But she was able to be like, Brady's a dangerous person. Brady maybe murdered Philip Kyriakis. Brady did all this stuff. So she's like, Rachel's not safe with you, especially after what you did to Philip. And then she does an iconic like smooch and leave. She's just like and walks away.
Yeah. Again, it's the feminine equivalent of throwing the deuce.
Absolutely. That is so true. And that's why they're perfect for each other. So Belle, I think, completely randomly takes the whole exchange as a message that Brady's going through with pressing charges to Phillip. Like it's completely unattached. She's like, I know what that means. You're going to press charges. He says, Phillip being alive and well is proof enough that Brady did nothing wrong, and punishing Phillip doesn't help Brady get any closer to regaining custody of his daughter. He assures her that he's not doing it for Phillip. He's doing it for his grandfather, and he's doing it for Belle, and he's doing it for Chloe. I'm like, this is a long list of people that you're doing this for. Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, wow.
All right.
May I ask like what general opinions are on Brady?
I don't know. So to be perfectly clear, peek behind the curtain, I'm not like tapped into soap opera culture.
Got it.
So maybe this podcast is my attempt to create my own soap opera culture of people to talk to about Days of Our Lives.
I also feel like you're going to get in hot water.
I think so too, for sure. For sure. Because yeah, I don't know. I like Brady. Brady is like a good guy.
But since he's a legacy, I bet he's been around for like 100 years.
Yeah, he's been around for so long. His whole thing is like he's sober
now or forever.
Now he is an alcoholic and he's in recovery. So like that means he's a good guy.
That's the equation.
Yeah, like in this world, it actually is. So yeah, he's like good. He just like always has romantic drama. Yeah, he's a funny guy. Just a 50-year-old man with Botox and a leather jacket.
Botox and you can tell.
Okay, so we're going to go back quickly to Chloe and Xander's apartment. I frankly love a scene that starts with, so let me get this straight.
That excellent device.
That tells me I'm going to have a good time this scene.
Yeah, buckle up.
Xander is surprised that Phillip would take the risk of being sent to prison for like framing Brady for murder just to go to his father's funeral. And Phillip's like, I was tired of hiding. Like, I just couldn't take it anymore. I needed to face it. Chloe gets the news that Brady isn't going to press charges. Phillip is very excited that in this order, he can 1, see his mother, 2, go to his father's funeral. And then he pauses for a very long time where I can only imagine he is finding the line.
Landing the plane.
And he's like, and I can try to get my life back.
You know, there were 2 more things in there and he couldn't remember them.
Exactly. Or like he was going to start with try to get my life back and then he forgot.
And then he was like, my mouth did the wrong thing.
So that's sort of wrapping up Phillip for this episode. They wish each other well. Phillip leaves and Xander and Chloe share a conflicted look, which leads us to believe we're not done talking about this yet.
Not yet here. Not yet, Salem Knights. Salemites.
Salem. I was like, Salem Nights. That sounds like after hours.
Salemites.
Days of Our Lives and Salem Nights. Okay, so now with Roth, the lawyer, Leo starts to tell the story of Dimitri and Gwen's love, which of course is actually the story of Leo falling in love with Dimitri.
Yep.
That gets way overly poetic.
It's a lot.
So he's like, we didn't even like each other at first. I realized later that my resistance to this man and how he made me feel, well, it was a defense mechanism. But because of the profound connection we felt for each other, we were determined to push aside all the obstacles in our way. No one understands what we have, not even my best friend in the world. And then he goes, damn it, why should I have to give up on this wonderful man when he is absolutely perfect for me and it feels so real, so right? What do you have to say to that? Should I start ending more of my stories with, what do you have to say about that?
I think, but it needs to be accusatory.
That's true. What do you have to say about that?
Even if it's just like your husband going, how was your day?
Yeah. Or it's like, what do you want for dinner? Chipotle. What do you have to say about that? Perfect.
Olivia got divorced last year. We're not quite
sure.
She
wouldn't stop asking Jacoby what he had to say about that, and he couldn't take it anymore.
Why do you keep asking me that? It is quite the monologue.
It is so much.
Dimitri looks like he's taking a 50 milligram edible.
He is like what the fuck?
It's literally not present. Like he is out of his mind. And he's staring at this man with like such a look of love and adoration, but then looks at the lawyer like the narcs have caught on. Like it is the craziest storytelling I have ever seen.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I didn't even notice that. Yes, so that's happening. Dimitri's clearly in another universe, high as a kite.
Off to the races.
Leo throws out the iconic, what do you think about that? And the underscoring tells us it's about to go really bad.
Yes.
And then
we're ready.
Roth, the lawyer, is like, you're not Gwen Rizchek any more than I am. Honestly, he's a great actor. I mean, in the scene, Elliot's a great actor because I believed that he was buying it, you know?
Hope you have good rep, my babe.
I hope you do too. And I'm sorry I called you the Kirkland Merton Sheen, but I am a member of Costco and
he's the people's Costco. Martin Sheen.
There you go. Saying. So Roth goes off. He's like, I've done my homework on Gwen. And he goes, and I've also been to drag shows with my husband. You thought you were the only gay people in this hotel room? You were wrong.
I have a husband.
Weren't you so prejudiced by assuming my spouse I was talking to on the phone was a woman?
We were assuming wife.
To be fair, I did too. It was a twist.
Wife. We have lots to learn.
We have a lot of internalized bias.
Lots to learn before we sleep.
Yes.
Yes.
And he goes, you're good, but not good enough. And I'm like, is he good at all? I don't think he's good at all.
He's really not good at all.
None of this has gone well.
Yeah, it's not gone great.
So then Roth starts a real like pull on the heartstrings. And he's like, I can tell that you two are truly in love. Mm-hmm. And they're both like, love?
Are we?
Because
they haven't said that yet. Yes.
Exactly. And in a show of allegiance to Leo, I think, Dimitri ignores an incoming call from Gwen, who's trying to warn him about Gabby and Dimitri snooping. Like the call comes in and he's like, I don't care about Gwen. I'm here with Leo.
Okay, I didn't quite put those pieces together.
Didn't quite curl over for you.
I was like, did that actor leave his cell phone on?
Okay, we are wrapping up, I promise. We're at the DeMera mansion. Gabby and Stefan reconvene, and she reveals that she found a receipt in Dimitri's bag proving that he paid for 2 rooms on the honeymoon in Iceland. So, of course, Gabby thinks that this means he brought his girlfriend on the honeymoon. But Stefan knows that Leo was the honeymoon crasher.
Ooh.
So the first time I watched this, I did not connect those dots because I was like, how would Stefan know it was Leo?
But Gwen
the receipt. But Gwen blurted it out
randomly
in the hall.
said it in the hallway.
Okay,
and the rooms are specifically on separate floors,
right?
Also. And I remember being like, "How did you find that out from the receipt?"
Right, like an itemized hotel receipt isn't like room 427 and room 832.
Yeah.
Okay, so now Stefan's like, ooh boy, I've got him now.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're back with Roth. He starts a full love is love campaign speech about how he knows Dimitri and Leo can't act on their love because, and I quote, you've been forced into a corner by an archaic and homophobic legal document that your family drew up that stipulates you must marry a woman in order to be eligible for your inheritance.
Inheritance?
What did I say?
You said, in order to be eligible for your inheritance.
Let me take it back. There are no commas in this sentence, so I have to start all the way back at the beginning. I'm going to leave it in. So, yeah, he's like, this is messed up that your family did this. I'm on your side. He hands Dimitri the first installment of his inheritance. Nailed it. Nice. But he insists that they need to keep up appearances with Gwen and no one can know about their relationship, unfortunately. And then he goes, but it is my fervent hope that someday in the future, you won't have to hide your true feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And then Leo plants a big fat kiss on Dimitri, and Roth looks on with a proud dad smile. And I just love that that's the end of the episode.
It is truly sealed with a kiss.
Sealed with a kiss. These
Yes.
two have somehow gotten away with it.
I also just need to point out that the 10-point words that are being used: archaic, homophobic, codicil.
Well, and it's the von Leuschner codicil.
Dimitri von
Dimitri
Leuschner,
von Leuschner's
archaic,
codicil.
homophobic codicil.
Codicil. Should that be title of ep? Oh my gosh. I actually do think, well, you can come out now works on multiple levels.
Wow.
It's a line that Phillip says, or that Chloe says to Phillip because he needs to come
You're
out fighting.
so right.
Gay pride.
Yes.
And it is my podcast coming out. Well, you can come out now. This is the coming out of my podcast. And
This is you now. It's my favorite thing right now.
oh my God. So I feel like we have to title of ep.
I think that's the best one.
Okay, perfect.
The best one we found. The title of ep for this season 1, episode 1 of
So Are the Days of Our Lives?
question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark.
Question mark, exclamation point. I simplified the punctuation.
Thank you for that.
So that's that, Meredith. Big takeaways from, you've seen, I forced you to watch a little bit of Days of Our Lives here and there, but
Yeah.
this episode,
It's a wow.
it's a wow.
It's a wow for sure.
Yes.
Definitely, it opened my mind in ways that I did not know it needed to be open. It was as if I was drinking the water of life from the most recent episode of Dune Part 2. Episode of Dune Part 2. I was impressed. I was taken on a roller coaster, but mostly I want to say welcome to the podcast world, Olivia
thank you
Willis.
so much. Thank you.
We're excited to have you.
I hope this becomes a thing. I hope people listen and have a good time. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I have a great time watching Days of Our Lives, and I have an even better time talking to
about
other people about what happens. And so I need more people in my life to be watching it. So
yeah,
just here trying to spread the good word and,
good word.
Introduce people to
the gospel of Days of Our Lives.
Exactly. And a comfort show that might take over your entire life, because there are 5 new episodes a week and therefore you will never run out of new episodes.
Do you ever want to feel like you're pushing a boulder up a hill for the rest of your life?
Commit to watching
Start watching
Days of Our Lives. So I guess most importantly, thank you, Meredith. We're going to have Meredith back to talk about our next episode, which is season 59, episode 6.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Meredith. I also thank anyone who's listening to this, my husband, my family, my close friends. And if I don't know you yet, you're a close friend soon.
Thanks to her team.
Thank you to my producer, Olivia. And a sincere thank you to you and Jacoby also encouraging me to do this. And I've famously been saying I've been doing this gonna do this for 4 years. Yeah. And I was scared.
We love a scared girl. We love an overcome girl.
But yeah, so if you made it to the end, wow. Thank you so much. I don't have ads. I don't have credits. I don't have anything. So we are just going to stop. Hopefully by the time this comes out, I have an Instagram, and I'm going to try to call it like So Are the Days Podcast or So Are the Days Pod or something like that. So look for it there. The name of this podcast is So Are the Days of Our Lives.
Yes.
And you found us, so hopefully you know where to find us from now on. Smash that subscribe button, leave us a review, and by us I mean me, because you're with me right now, and you're a big part of this, but you won't be here every episode, or else it would just be us talking about a show that we both know, like
that we both know everything about. Yeah, that wouldn't be the point.
So yeah, subscribe, leave me a rating, review.
They apparently mean a lot. All the other podcasters say that they mean a lot.
And I would love to keep doing this. Meredith, I love you.
I love you.
I've absolutely got to have a nibble and a nap. So
A
I'm
nibble
going
and a nap for
to
both of us. Cheers, my love.
cheers. I love you. Bye.
Bye.